Hey, this is Big Papa Scott's Diner.
Yes, it is me, Gerald the Poupée.
Hey, this is Joe Gatto.
This is Eric Young.
Well, hello there. It's me, Harold the Puppet.
This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to Shootin' Poop.
Shootin' Poop.
The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Wait, hey guys, where's Jovan?
Who?
I don't know.
Who's
That
Jovan?
guy that's supposed to be here a half hour ago? That guy?
Something like that. Yeah, that guy.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. There's another guy.
If I had to take a wild guess, I'd assume he's probably driving some random family members home for no apparent reason.
Or he's
But that's just me. I don't know.
Or he's at GameStop.
GameStop?
Who shops at GameStop?
Jovan does
he?
he?
For real?
Isn't that where you guys go to get your games, man?
I go to Amazon.
I'm a grown up.
I'm a grown up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Joey K is a grown up. He's so sophisticated.
Very mature. Very mature.
You're goddamn right. So let's start the show.
Okay.
Hit the fucking intro, Chief.
Hey, real quick. I'm gonna do my real quick.
For fuck's sake, here we go.
I just wanted to take a minute and apologize for my sudden abrupt exit from last week's show. Just not going to go into full details. These guys know the story and stuff, but I just want to apologize. Had a little bit of a family emergency. Everything's good now. So, but yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to apologize for having to leave so quickly. So let's get going, guys.
Man, I just love that new music, bro.
It is such an awesome way to just get going.
Yeah.
We're so fucking
much better than an ice cream truck we used to have to listen to.
I can actually go for some ice cream right about now. I still got about 3/4 of an ice cream cake left over from my birthday, so that's what I'm eating after we're done.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
We do ice cream cake for here too, man. Yeah, ice cream cake's like the best cake.
Dude, seriously, isn't it?
If it ain't a motherfucking cookie puss, I ain't showing up.
All right, Rocky. All right, so Jovan is missing in action, so we know this show is going to be really good now. And stuff, so, but gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Well, we showed up for our show, so that
we're here, man. So I mean, contractually, we're going to get our bonus, right? Because we made this many episodes in a row without missing.
Wait! You guys got bonuses in your contract?
You and Jovan aren't getting your bonus. Me and Joey are, because we've met the minimum requirements for consecutive shows without missing.
There you go.
I had last week or 2 weeks ago was probably the first show I missed since back in almost a year ago, back when I had my knee surgery. So
that's unfortunate.
It sucks to be you, bud.
Yeah, it does.
You need a better agent.
I do.
I was trying to get you to spit that water so goddamn bad.
You got Jovan last week, man. You're not getting me this week, bud. All right, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
We got a few things to talk about here, but I think I'm going to talk about something that I think all of us here were pretty excited about, and when this was announced, and is evident as evidenced in our chat, and that is the announcement that Dark Side Season 4 is happening. Dark Side of the Ring, great show on Vice, gives you a lot of stuff about certain things that happen in the world of pro wrestling, and gives it more of a realistic look, because they're not affiliated with any wrestling company and stuff. So I think that's where you get your most honest, the to God truth about some of these stories and what really happened. Again, they've announced season 4, and I actually have the list of episodes that are going to be the case. So I'm going to read them off, and then we're all going to talk a little bit about the ones that we're most excited for. So we got for season 4, we have Chris Candido and Tammy Lynn Sitch.
That's going to be brutal.
Yeah. We got Magnum TA. We got Adrian Adonis. Doink the Clown, the Junkyard Dog, excuse me, Marty Jannetty, Bam Bam Bigelow, excuse me, Abdullah the Butcher, Bash at the Beach 2000, and then the Graham family. So
was the Bash at the Beach 2000? Is that the one where it was Hog Wild? Was that?
No, Bash at the Beach 2000 was the one where Jarrett wrestled Hogan, and Hogan basically went in the ring, laid down. Jarrett pinned him. Hogan walked out with,
Jarrett laid down, and Hogan pinned him. Yeah.
And then he took off with the belt, and then Vince Russo came back came out 20 minutes later and basically tore Hogan a new asshole and stuff. So, and then that's the night that he won the title.
Well, I mean, I think if you look at the list, man, there's going to be a couple there's a few of these here that I'm curious that I want to watch as far as as a fan. Magnum TA, I think for those, younger people out there, I have no idea who that is. He was a huge, huge up and coming star in the NWA. I mean, he was on the verge of Hogan status in the sense of the NWA and who he was.
Yeah, he was going to be the Hogan of the NWA.
And Dusty Rhodes, who was the head booker at that time, had huge plans for Magnum TA and kind of taking him underneath his wing. And then he had this awful car wreck, and it pretty much, derailed what would have been a very, very promising career. I'm very excited to watch that one, as well as the Junkyard Dog, who was another one that a lot of young people may not know who that is. But at one time, he was one of the biggest stars in the country. Everywhere that guy went, he sold out and was
what
just an unbelievable star. And I believe he was in one of was it the first, second, or third? I don't remember, one of the early Manias. He had a spot in. Was it WrestleMania 2 or 3 that he wrestled?
He actually was in the first 3 WrestleManias.
Was he in the first 3?
Actually, it was the first 4 because I believe he was in WrestleMania.
He was in
1,
the tournament.
WrestleMania 1 was, I think, against Greg the Hammer Valentine for the Intercontinental title. 2, I think he tagged up with Tito against Terry and Dory Funk, to what they were calling him Hoss Funk. 3, he had the match against Harley Race. And then 4, I think he was in that 20-man battle royal that kicked off the show. I don't think he was in the tournament.
I mean, and this was a guy who had a national fan base back in a time where there wasn't a lot of African-American wrestlers getting that kind of money and recognition. So he was a pretty huge star. The Bash is the Beast thing. I mean, and there's a couple of these are just the train wreck shows that we know we're always going to watch, like the Chris Candido, Tammy, Sunny show. That's going to be just, a major, handful of pills and kind of deal as well, like Marty Jannetty and even the Abdullah Butcher one and the Graham family. Another one that's kind of be like one of those sad but tragic things. But I am curious to watch the Bash of the Beat so we can see how many times Hulk Hogan lies about how he didn't use, his creative control in any way.
I bet you anything he's not. He's not going to be interviewed for that show.
Dude, Hogan's a whore for the camera. If they call him up, he's going to volunteer to talk about it.
I don't think he's ever been on any of the. I don't see him doing, because it's just. I don't see Hogan being a part of that. But that was one of the ones I was, interested in because of, what happened, and you think about how significant it was for something like that at the time and stuff, and just with everything that happened with that, because was the plan originally supposed to be Jarrett going over, but Hogan playing his creative control and stuff, and then every long and stuff. So that one, and then I think like you mentioned the Magnum TA one, just because of if this accident didn't happen, to think what could have been, and it's just I'm always a big just always like to think about what could have been with certain things in that, and I think Magnum TA is one of the biggest what ifs or whatever that it's out there in the pro wrestling world. And I mean, all of these should be interesting. This actually looks like this might be one of the better seasons, because every episode that we that's on for the docket for season 4, I think it's going to provide some really interesting stories to hear. Joey K, is there anything specific in this list that stands out to you that you're interested in?
Number 1, coked up Jannetty. Always a good time. Number 2, I want to hear more about Abdullah the Butcher's Chinese takeout restaurants. And number 3, the episode probably I'm most excited for is the Bam Bam episode, because that dude was an absolute legend. So underrated. One of the best big men ever to be in a ring. I mean, the guy moved so well for his size. It was ridiculous. We talk about guys like a guy who like the Samoans,
I was gonna say Yokozuna. He
Yoko, a big dude who moved so easy,
so well.
Right?
Yeah.
So but lost in that, we missed out on Bam Bam because he was never, a world champ for
never a world champ for anybody that I can remember.
But came out of Asbury Park, New Jersey, Larry Sharp's world famous Monster Factory. ECW legend. I mean, the guy main evented WrestleMania. Let's be real. Main evented WrestleMania against Lawrence Taylor, but still.
And had to give his backup to Lawrence Coke Taylor.
Yeah.
In one of the worst matches that I have ever seen in my life.
And here's the thing. It would have been significantly worse if it wasn't for Bam Bam.
Right, absolutely.
The guy just doesn't get his shine enough. Definitely gone way too soon, but awesome. I'm really excited for that story, to be honest with you, because especially being an ECW guy, go with that. He was part of the triple threat. Candido,
dude.
Douglas, Bam Bam. That was an absolute, that was such a monster faction in ECW at the time. So
which I thought was when I seen the list, the one thing that did stand out was man, we just got done talking about how great Bam Bam was and credit he don't get, and then the next week they're coming out with this episode. And to be honest with you guys, I may not have the recall for factual matches, cards, and all that stuff like DDJ does, but I do kind of pride myself on knowing the other side of their lives, as far as as getting as much information about the real person as I can. And I know nothing about Bam Bam, personally, what even his real name was, or where he came up with Bam Bam, why the tattoos on his head, any of that stuff. I don't know any origin stories about him, what got him started. Because usually, he passed away before the era of the documentary and the tell-alls and the shoot, really. Everything was so kayfabe while he was a performer, and he left us so early. He was, relatively young, was it late 30s, early 40s when he passed? Was he late 30s? I'm not sure.
I'll look it up real quick.
I can tell you that Eddie Guerrero was 38, and I can't
45.
tell you how old Bam Bam was.
He's only 45. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So and the guy worked every territory, and then for every major company.
And he did well in every
everywhere, yeah. But he just never seemed to stick around long. Yeah. I don't know. if that was just him wanting to move around or what the case may be. And he was huge in Japan.
Yeah, he was. Well,
Absolutely.
Guys
And
like
I
him
mean,
and Vader were like gods in Japan.
Oh yeah, dude.
so here's an interesting tidbit on this too. I don't know if you guys watched the last season, the couple seasons of Young Rock.
Yep.
When they portrayed Bam Bam in the show,
Yeah.
they made him just like absolute nice guy, great guy, real super respectful, because it was a time period when he was working with Rocky Johnson in Tennessee, I think.
Yeah.
So, but like they portrayed him as like a real great guy. Like,
Yeah.
and so to me, that says a lot, because if Rock's pulling stories and they're writing around it, he wasn't so kind to Shawn Michaels in the show.
No.
So it's obvious that, like, hey, if there's something between somebody, he's not afraid to throw that into a script.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in the wrestling world too, it's kind of hard to be like, we know what's real and what's not, man. I mean, anybody that would portray Shawn Michaels as a good guy, especially during that era, they're not really being honest or factual. I mean, even Shawn, I'll tell you, he was the world's biggest prick.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I'm certain nowadays it's much different, and so many people have even said it's it's like two different people. But Shawn in the late 90s, no, he was an asshole.
Not a good dude. Not a good dude. Yeah.
All right. So
I think it's gonna be. I'm kind of excited for season 4, man. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, or if you're Black Mirror fans, but Black Mirror is coming back, dude. If you want to get a nice little mind fuck going, watch Black Mirror.
I love how they did it.
Boy,
too.
that sounds like the words of a mark for Black Mirror.
Wow,
that's true. Mean Mark, oh dude, I like Mean Mark. He was such a good wrestler. Too bad nobody'd ever pay money to watch him work.
Wonder what ever happened to that guy.
I don't know,
weird, man. I don't know. Just kind of rode off in the sunset, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I heard he was working backroom stock at Harbor Freight. So shit like that. I don't know, man.
I haven't heard much from him.
Real waste of talent there.
Yep.
I know, man. You want to talk about a what if?
Dude, they had something with him. I mean, like, honestly,
well, dude, I mean, you would have known more about Mean Mark in WCW if Dan Spivey hadn't went nuts and beat the shit out of the Road Warriors.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had something really good. The problem was Dan Spivey went fucking
ape shit
off the fucking rails, man.
And Ole Anderson wrestled about as well as he could book. He don't know nothing. He didn't. I mean, dude, didn't know anything about being a booker. That's one of the big problems WCW had. They kept hiring these guys that were workers but did not know shit about booking.
Yep,
that's true. That's true.
All right.
There's your what if.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to some AEW news. All Out was confirmed by, I think it's Mega Perek. I don't know, like basically the chief legal officer of AEW confirmed that All Out is happening, and it is going to be the weekend after, probably that Sunday night after All In. So you're basically going to have everybody in going all in for London, and then a week later coming, back to the States for All Out. Do you guys think this is a wise move, or do you think this is like a little bit of overkill on AEW's part?
Yeah, I don't know what that. I think it's a little bit of overkill, man. I mean, that's pretty. But I mean, I think their train of thought is like nobody's flying to Wembley. I mean, I know there's people trying to, but
I know a couple people that said they're planning on going. So,
I mean, I think their train of thought is we can do a show there and sell out a show here as well, and that's probably true, man. I mean, they're double dipping a little bit, and why wouldn't they? I mean, given the opportunity. I mean, to me, kind of feels like we're sticking our hand a little too far in the cookie jar, considering the product that they're putting out right now.
My biggest concern is, because I'm with you, I think it's a little bit of overkill. Like when All In was announced, I'm thinking, okay, so that is going to be All Out this year. And I'm fine with that. Like I like having All Out every. year in Chicago and stuff. But you know what? If they wanted to do all in, run it, a big show in at Wembley and skip all in, or maybe have it a little bit later, I'm perfectly fine with that, and stuff. But my thing is just if both of these shows are going to be on pay-per-view, like that's kind of, I think, asking a lot for, those who, aren't going to Wembley or who aren't going to be going to All Out and probably and presumably in Chicago. I mean, it's not official, but I mean, it seems wind up every year being in Chicago. I mean, that's a lot of money for some households to spend for back-to-back week, pay-per-views, if that's the case.
Yeah, hi, single dad here. You think I'm fucking spending $100 in 2 weeks to watch fucking, obviously one show is going to be the lesser of the two, and I'll probably be pissed about it. So, yeah.
Well, the lesser one will be the Wembley show, man. I think they're going to kind of curtail that for that area and the fan base that's there. So I think you're going to see a lot of New Japan guys and a lot of British wrestlers and English wrestlers.
So it's going to be basically all in, where they had from everywhere coming in.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's going to be. And I'm just throwing this out there. I mean, All Out's basically their Mania. It's their biggest show every year.
Right.
And we literally plan that weekend in Chicago around it every year. Like I've been to the last three. Last two,
because the 3 years ago it was in Jacksonville because it was still during COVID.
Right. So
I've been every All Out so far that's been in Chicago.
Yeah, since post-COVID, we've been to everyone in Chicago, and I know for a fact that our Four Horsemen brother Jerry already took the weekend off. Is making sure that he has that time off to go to All Out that weekend because he didn't get to go last year. So
yeah,
if it's not in Chicago, I know a couple people that are going to be super pissed that we don't have All Out in Chicago this year, because it is kind of like it's our big weekend, man. I mean, we don't have a Mania weekend. I mean, and barring us getting a dome, for over the new Soldier Field, I don't know that we ever will.
By the way, Joey K, congrats on getting Jalen Carter.
That was probably the best top 10 pick we could absolutely manufacture.
Yeah,
for the Eagles, because that is just great. But also at the same time, I said the same thing. Who's that cat you guys picked up? The offensive tackle, real badass kid.
Yeah,
the kid for the Balls, Tennessee, played for Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, our buddy Pat's not happy about it. He was kind of pissed. I was like, dude, that's what we need. We need an offensive tackle. What are you complaining about?
You have and I'll use my example.
Darnell Wright.
You have a Jalen Hurts caliber quarterback in Justin Fields.
A Jalen Hurts caliber, huh?
Well, I don't mean I mean it more along the lines of like.
No, I know what you mean.
How he broke out.
An athletic quarterback who can throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, and he's been a breakout star for the league. And we saw that last year, just this past season with Fields. The problem is, the difference is the Eagles' offensive line is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
The Bears need a good offensive line to let this kid shine. So you take pretty much the top two offensive tackles in the entire fucking draft.
Yeah,
that's a solid pick.
Yeah, dude. I
like the pick.
I think we're making strides, man. I like what we've done in the off season. We made some good trades. Poles is doing his job. If we don't win, we should win 8 to 10 games this year. I don't know what that means for us as far as the playoffs or whatever, but
we
were in every game. We were in every game we played last year. Very good. We didn't get blown out too many times. I mean, we were literally in.
How many 3-point losses were there? It was some ridiculous number, right?
It was
6 or 7.
Yeah, like it was like
it was like one drive. If we had one good drive at the end of the game, we could have won. Yeah, but we just
also helps. Rodgers is now in the AFC.
Yeah, but and the great thing about that is he's gonna get his ass kicked in the AFC. The Jets can't protect him, and he's not a runner, so who gives a shit?
True, very true. But I mean, it's just like that's just such a boost for the Bears too. So I mean, I thought it was a great pick. You know,
To be completely honest, as a diehard Bears fan, I'd much rather beat Green Bay with Rodgers in the huddle.
fair.
That's
Yeah.
just me. After all the
with you on
cocky
that.
bullshit over the years, you know, I kind of feel like he knew my team's going this way, Chicago's going this way. I've talked so much shit. Maybe I should go. Because, you know, I mean, it's kind of like being that, you know, the 13-year-old kid that's bigger than everybody. You run your mouth, you pick on people, and then you get to high school and you're still the same size and everybody else is shot up. Now you're not so goddamn cocky. And that's kind of the way I feel about Rodgers right now. It's like, dude, you've been to the same as NFC championship games as Rex Grossman. You won one Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Joe Montana. I don't give a fuck. These guys that they talk him up so bad.
That's the difference.
Like he was so great, and he just, you know, whatever, dude. You're an above average quarterback, but you ain't an elite level quarterback.
Not anymore, at least. He's not. He's not.
Of course.
I mean, Brady and Patrick Mahomes and these guys that are like just, and then you got the middle of the road, and then you got 20 feet of shit, and that's where Chicago's been.
But
we're
clear,
steadily moving up.
The role of quarterback, that the Brady era is done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Aaron Rodgers is part of that Brady era.
No,
that era of quarterback style is done and gone. Look today, just today, as we're, you know, before we record this, Lamar Jackson got his fucking bag, didn't he?
Highest paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah, and he could he could thank Jalen Hurts for that.
Yeah, wasn't Jalen Hurts the highest till like a week ago? He was the
Hurts reset the entire market, and now Lamar gets paid. There's gonna be guys, and I read a great tweet today. It was like, in a couple years, the Jalen Hurts deal is gonna be a fucking bargain.
Oh yeah,
that's what I've heard about that. I heard something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. But that's the era of quarterback we're in. So a guy like Rodgers is gonna go out there and probably get mauled with a piss poor Jets offensive line.
Oh, I can't wait.
And you know, it is what it is. And then a guy like Fields, boost that offensive line up. Give him another weapon and boost that offensive lineup. Jesus Christ, they're gonna be dude. They're gonna be winning the fucking. They'll be in the playoffs with the Eagles.
We got receivers. We're I think we're one running back away.
Mm-hmm.
We still got a little tweaking to do, but I think we're almost there.
We're getting there. Yes.
So how about we hit this topic that's a very sore subject next, of this absolute dumpster fire of a new title belt that was debuted last week.
You don't like it? I liked it. I thought it was kind of sweet.
I think we were. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know,
I got a spot for it right there. Wait, right there. There. That's where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Let it go collect dust up there, bud.
Is Mr. Silver Wolf looking forward to it?
Waiting for confirmation, and
I think so.
Okay.
She ain't like making any faces or anything, so I think we're still good.
We'll take it.
Okay.
All right, man. Yeah.
Confirm. Can confirm. All right.
And I think we're pretty split. I think Sean and I like the belt, and I think you and
Jovan and I hated it.
I like it, man. I know that Triple H is a big fan of the big gold. He always has been. He said that in the past that was
so
like
was Sean. So was the Silver Wolf, big fan of the big gold.
I'm kind of I like they're taking that history, man. There's a lot of history connected with that belt. I mean, am I a fan of like the W in the middle of it and all that? And I think they could have designed it a little bit better, but I do like that they're throwing in the side plates in. And of course that's a marketing thing, you know, for us nerds that buy the belts and collect them, we can replace our side plates and stuff like that. But my big thing is how pissed are you and the rest of the WWE stands going to be when Roman Reigns puts that son of a bitch around his waist and holds the other two up in the air?
That's not good.
Yeah, I don't think I think the whole point of this was to avoid that.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome that you think that, but I think that we all know that Paul Levesque don't give a fuck what we think, because Cody was supposed to win and he didn't. And then he starts talking shit about Roman, and now we got this new belt. Mm-hmm. And if you're Roman Reigns and you're the head of the bloodline and you're the number one attraction in WWE, tell me that you're not coming after that belt.
The two worst things that could happen with that new title, and this is kind of going to a little bit went into my way of thinking when we was talking about like because one of the things we're going to talk about with this topic here is who we all think should be the first the first champion. And one of the things that kind of went into my train of thought with this is that the two worst things that could happen with this title right off the bat are that Cody wins it, or that, like you said, it finds its waist around the waist or shoulder or wherever he wants to put it, over Roman Reigns. I think if either one of those two things happens with that belt, that belt's dead. Like, it's going to be dead in the water.
Okay, I completely agree with you on the Cody thing, because I think if they put it on Cody, then we're saying this is a consolation prize because you didn't win.
Yep. That is the reason why. That is
exactly why. I think that's a really great take, DDJ, and I completely agree with you. Now, the flip side of that is like if I'm trying to get heat, I'm just saying.
I see where you're coming from, and I get it. I can't.
And that's exactly why I think it's going to happen. As soon as he announced it, especially the way he was talking about Roman Reigns and holding two belts and being on one show, and now we're going to give you an opportunity for a champion that you can be proud of. And just the language and the words, the pronouns that he was using to describe this guy that's going to carry this new belt.
Nah. I think the belt's a fucking dumpster fire. I think it's an ugly sack of shit. And you know why I think it's ugly sack of shit?
Yeah.
Because my favorite title belt is the big gold belt, right? They massacred that fucking thing by putting that giant fucking globe and that stupid fucking W on it and made it the big center focus. The best part about the big gold, it's so iconic to wrestling that when the WWE had it and they interchanged the WWE logo at the very top of it,
yeah,
it was subtle enough, but like you just know. You don't need the giant fucking centerpiece. And that thing is just appalling. It's an abomination. It should be fucking taken out in the yard, tied to a tree, and put the fuck down. That's how much I hate that belt. And whoever the first champion is, I don't even care because they have to wear and lug around that big sack of shit for however long until Roman probably does get it and annoys the fuck out of me even more.
Just saying.
So there we go.
Okay, well, that's probably about one of the best segues.
April 27th, 10:35. Silver Wolf says Roman Reigns wins that belt.
Here we go.
But Joey K in that rant there had a really good segue to that. Excuse me, the second part of this topic. If you had the pencil, who would you make the first world heavyweight champion? Well, I'm going to start out with Sean. Who would you say?
Yeah, honest to God, I just from just piss off the whole fucking world point of view. I swear to God, I would put it on Roman. I would let Roman walk in and just take that son of a bitch and keep on walking away, because the more hate and the more heat that guy gets, when somebody finally does come along and beat him, it is going to be earth shattering. It's going to put a dent in the fucking universe. Honestly, and it's not that I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. I love what he's doing with the bloodline. I'm a big fan of what they're doing.
Okay, Mark.
I'm not a Roman Reigns mark. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. I don't think he's a great worker. There's none of that. I just think that in the spot that he's in and what he's done with it, I just don't. Other than like as far as like I'd like to see somebody I'd like to see AJ Styles or Finn Balor get an opportunity, man. Finn Balor, if nobody else, I'd love to see Finn Balor get an opportunity to carry it, because the guy deserves You know, he had one shot, got injured when he won the belt, and literally
really
has
got
done
that
jack
chance again.
shit. I mean, just every bit of momentum he had, it just died, and he's floundering in this faction that he's in. I'm not saying that those guys aren't fun to watch and they aren't entertaining, but he's way more than what they're letting him do, man. So let him break away. You know, he was Triple H. Triple H was his guy. Let Triple H put the belt back on him.
Joey K, what about you? Who would you make the first World Heavyweight Champion?
Oh, it's really easy. Jinder Mahal. Done. Do it at the fucking next. What's the next one?
Well, the next one after Backlash is the Night of Champions, Saudi, where the champions.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Night of Champions. Let's go.
Well, that's when they're doing it, right?
Yeah, Jinder Mahal.
It's not gonna be Jinder Mahal, man.
It's on.
No.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer. Fuck it. I honestly don't care. I think it's a fucking. It's a fucking title that's gonna get tossed around and lost in the background because no matter what, the big show here is Roman Reigns. So who the fuck cares? I honestly don't even care who they put the title on first. Whatever.
Alrighty then. Well, for me, this was fairly easy to decide. For me, someone who's arguably, about as good as he's ever been, and I think deserves a chance to be champion once again, and someone actually that has not that actually holds a victory over Roman Reigns in the last couple of years. I'm going with Seth freaking Rollins. I think Rollins would be. I think Rollins would be the perfect first guy to hold this championship belt. And honestly, and I'm gonna save this as a little bit of a tease, for what we're gonna be talking about next. But I actually got Rollins winning the title. And then when we talk about the draft here, I'm going to let you know who I think should be the guy that takes it off of Seth Rollins. So a little bit of a teaser here.
Oh, boy. I'm so excited. My fucking balls are jiggling. Can't wait, bud. Can't wait. Hey, you know what? What? I smell something cooking in here. I smell something delicious.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
No. Seriously,
you smell bacon?
No, something cooking. There's something on the stove here that I'm gonna have to go stir in a pot. So, there's DDJ yakking. That's great.
No, I'm just trying to.
So I'm feeling that we should get
yakking. I promise.
Oh, your internet sucks too. What's wrong with you guys out in fucking Illinois? Like, your internet is the absolute shits. What fucking Neanderthal internet provider companies do you guys have out there?
Uverse.
That doesn't even register in my brain. What's a Uverse? You guys are the worst. Anyway, let's get to the fucking question of the week, bud.
You just want, before we do that, you just want to be honest. Joey K, be honest. You just want to hear that voice, don't you?
Yeah, I want to hear that sexy son of a bitch say something to me. Speaks to my.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time. Shootin' Shit proudly presents the Stirrin' Shit Facebook question of the week.
I am very comfortable in my own sexuality. I'm heterosexual. No hate, no shame for whatever preferences. That's mine. But I'd fuck the shit out of that guy. I'm telling you right now. Whoever does that fucking voiceover,
don't worry,
man,
you probably
slinging dick and handing out bubble gum, bud.
You want to talk about? You want to talk about giving?
You probably will before the night's over.
You want to talk about giving new meaning to the term "go fuck yourself"?
Then you can go buy yourself another fucking candle, buddy.
Hey, whoa. I will have fucking confirmation that I did not buy that. In fact, the person who did has seen the clip now from our TikTok page.
And what did said person say?
She just looked at me shocked and shook her head and was like,
And
"What
said,
the
"I
fuck
can't
is wrong
believe you're
with
letting
you?"
Cody listen to the Limp Bizkit." Is that?
She was all for that, by the way, too. That was funny. But yeah, so yeah, that I can
awesome.
confirm, not purchased for myself. Thank you.
All right.
So
Question of the week.
of the
What was the
week.
question of the week?
I don't know. What the fuck did I come up with?
Well,
Did
I
you
have it
ask
up
me?
here on my phone.
Oh my god, I have it right here, DDJ. Thanks.
No, I don't. No.
I'm just fucking with you. No, I it's because of like the next, few events coming up. We have the All In announcement going to Wembley. Of course, WrestleMania, or excuse me, is it still called WrestleMania Backlash? Or are we doing Backlash? What do we got?
It's still WrestleMania Backlash.
I still think I hate that, but WrestleMania Backlash, Puerto Rico. We got
All In at Wembley.
All in Wembley. Night of Champions is going to be out of the country. That's Saudi. I mean, like, so we got a lot of events. So
Money in the Bank is supposed to be in London.
What's that?
Money in the Bank is supposed to be in London this year.
That's right. So we got a good flavor of international shows here. So my question is, what city or country? I open it up. Do you want to see next? What's big time event you want to see in a specific country, specific city? And of course, we ran the gamut of some wonderful answers and some dog shit answers, because I'm not going to pull any punches here.
More answers than Sean's question got a few weeks ago.
What's that?
More answers than Sean's question got a few weeks ago.
Oh, I wasn't even
digging a
say
hole,
that.
man. At least I showed up for it, man. I didn't fake being
sick next week. Sick burn, bro.
Oh, you had to go there. Okay.
I can't do the show this week. My question only got 5 answers.
My vagina hurts. I'm fucking around, but like
no, I'm totally kidding.
I'm like, I'm so sick. I'm not even gonna show up.
No, dude, he was sick. He would never miss this show ever.
Oh my god, no! I know. So I actually put my answer in the comments. So anybody who read the actual full question, it's something I actually said on the show last year, where I felt like the next Forbidden Door should go to Japan, and we're not getting that, which sucks. But our boy Jerry, I took his answer right in my initial post, but hey, I mean, he had a really great one too. I loved his answer. Camp Casey, South Korea. From his time stationed there, seeing a wrestling show with about 30 other soldiers drinking beer. That's got to be a fucking wild event to perform at. As a wrestler showing up as a show for that, because you're like, here we fucking go.
No, I mean, when they do the tribute for the troops and stuff, the WWE shows, I always watch that, man, because I know that. Well, I mean, you guys know that Gabby's involved with Project Headspace and Time, which is a veterans organization nonprofit that she's working for, and these guys, I know they throw that stuff at them over there while they're overseas fighting for our country. They're over there getting wrestling shows, and people are performing for them and live, and they're just doing that to break up the monotony and help these guys out and give them something to look forward to. But I think it would be awesome to see a full-blown actual pay-per-view, at an Air Force base or an Army base or something like that.
I like that.
Just kind of give these guys the whole crowd is nothing but uniforms, man. And I know that would mean a lot of people that aren't military wouldn't get to go, but these guys do so much and get so little in return, and come back with so many issues that they're not really getting help with or receiving any kind of support from. So, and like I say, I grew up, post Vietnam in that era. So just the idea that these guys would be getting something like that I think it'd be really cool to see that too. So I love that idea that Jerry had. And I also liked your idea about the Tokyo Dome. That's actually, when you asked the question, I honestly didn't read the entire thing. I just read the question and then went back in and realized that you took my answer, because my whole thing was I think, the Tokyo Dome would be huge.
Yeah. That was definitely one that I thought too, and I had mentioned
that place is I mean, that's like massive, right? Like that. I mean, Tokyo Dome's like the biggest venue on that continent, like in the entire continent. That's their biggest, the biggest.
And
spot.
I even mentioned that in the chat. You know, we were in the thread about this too. Is I honestly thought we were going to get that as part of Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year, kind of similar to what they did the year before when they had, I think it was New Japan versus Noah. You know, I was kind of hoping we would have gotten that, you know, because I would have loved to seen, you know, some more, you know, more AEW guys, you know, besides FTR and Kenny Omega and stuff, you know, over there, you know, like I said, kind of gotten another Forbidden Door event. And I mean, we still may get that at some point, you know, but that would have been mine. I think for me, though, it's just like, especially we were talking, John had mentioned a little earlier about, you know, getting, you know, us getting a dome here for the Bears, you know, with the, you know, them likely moving to the Arlington Heights area with their new stadium. If that happens, you know what? Let's get a fucking WrestleMania in Chicago again.
Oh, dude, yeah. If we get a dome, they're definitely bringing WrestleMania to Chicago.
I mean, Chicago,
one of the top 3 wrestling spots in the entire country.
Good, Chicago always goes up when it comes to WWE or professional wrestling.
You knock your fucking shit off already. You fucks get spoiled so fucking much. I absolutely fucking cannot stomach it. Oh, Chicago needs more shows. You know what? How about every fucking company just sets up in Chicago and just runs shows?
I didn't say we need more shows. I said we would like to have a WrestleMania in Chicago, like you're getting one in Philadelphia next year.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe if you lived in a better fucking climate, you fucking Vikings, it would be a little bit different for you come the first week of April. But it's not. You guys live like fucking animals out there with fucking wind and hail and fucking snow in May. You guys are fucking savages.
Which is why we're the baddest motherfuckers in the country, bud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Our heroes aren't fake.
In the Midwest, maybe.
Your most popular athlete is a fictional guy from a movie.
But he was a bad motherfucker. He was a bad motherfucker. And excuse me, I'm sorry, Philadelphia, home of one of the greatest world fucking champions of all time, Smoking Joe motherfucking Frazier. Please don't give me the Rocky bullshit. Everybody says that, but y'all forgot about fucking Smoking Joe. Oh, how could I ever forget my man, Bernard Hopkins? Get the fuck out of here with that Rocky shit. We love Rocky because that's who we fucking are. But goddamn, we got some fucking killers out here. But yes, you guys have the worst fucking weather. Chicago can't handle a fucking Mania. Like it can't. Well, I mean, I'm concerned.
We'll be able
honestly,
to once we get a dome.
I'm concerned about next year also because it might not be great at the Link because we're outdoors. There's no fucking dome.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, and you got all them fuckers like carrying weapons and fucking like stabbing people with.
I love you and might shank you in the parking lot. I don't fucking know. Like that's just like I'm just gonna be like, sorry, bro. One quick one.
All I know is for all the deaths that have happened in Chicago, ain't nobody ever died at Soldier Field.
Okay, fair point.
So,
I mean, it could be worse.
And you guys have like fucking casualties at Philly games almost every year.
That's bullshit. We do not. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie.
Is it a lie?
It's a lie.
It's not a lie.
Casualties like
it's not a lie.
There's some motherfuckers that wake up maybe robbed, fucking dead ass broke now.
Come on, man. That stadium is so fucked up, and the shit that happens there is so fucked up. You guys have a jail in your fucking stadium.
Oh, that was at the vet, man. They blew that shit up. Fuck out of here. It's your bullshit. But it worked. It worked, bitch. City was making money. Everybody was happy.
Man, it worked because y'all a bunch of fucking criminals out there, man.
That's right. We are. I can't wait to fucking charge you motherfuckers rent when you stay out here next year.
Yeah, hey, whoa. That's Sean talking all that shit there.
Don't, Mister. Let me fucking make one more thing about how great Chicago is and how we deserve to have a wrestling. Shut up. You're in it too, man. Fuck, because I got to make up because
Exactly.
Jovan fucking no-showed me. So I got to fucking take on both of you myself. God damn it.
Well, I mean, he's a Texan, dude. You know how those guys go.
Oh,
when it
fuck
comes
him.
to
He'll
them.
just end up talking about the Cowboys the whole fucking time. By the way,
They're
if-
Texans, bro. They just
we are-
stay in the building till it's surrounded.
we are recording. We are recording the night one of the fucking NFL draft. And I swear to God, the greatest take I've ever seen was Micah Parsons saying, "I'm sick to my stomach after watching the fucking Eagles draft Jalen Carter at fucking 9." And it was just fucking chef's kiss. That was the most beautiful thing. That's the real reason why Jovan didn't show up, because he knew I was ready to talk some fucking football shit on his ass.
I feel like
Well, you know
Jerry
what?
Jones is sitting in his office like Dr. Evil and Austin Powers, the international.
If Jovan no shows up until when we all get together in Chicago, when you land, the car ride back to wherever it is we end up staying, be it my house, a hotel, or whatever, I'm recording that conversation between you two in the car.
Oh, dude. Oh, we had good times when he flew into Maryland for Ring of Honor, and we met him down there. Oh man, we had some good conversation. We had some good times joking around, carrying on and shit, man. We had some fun together, man. It was a good time. So that's why I can't wait. Jovan's like, "I got you, bud. I'm picking you up at the airport." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" It's like fucking straight up Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, man. We're fucking this is backcountry, baby. We're fucking rolling. He better show up with the fucking top down too.
Yeah, we'll make sure. Yeah, like I said, you're only about a half hour. O'Hare's only about a half hour from my house, so it's not that far.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's gonna be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm fucking excited. I'm pumped for next year, though. I'm so fucking pumped for Mania Week, man.
Yeah. So
I got my fucking PTO saved and ready to go. Just like, fuck yes.
So before we go into our last topic of the night, you guys, you know how we had this thing where one person was always wearing our shirt, and this week nobody's wearing it.
Yeah.
So somebody's out there is wondering, how can I buy one of those kick-ass shooting shit shirts? Well, we got I got a little commercial here to play that can answer all questions on how you can buy one of those shirts. So let's take a quick break and then we'll get into our last topic.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
Buy that shit, man.
Buy it. We got
support this
14
group
more
of
shirts to go
degenerates.
before we can
We need
release our own shirts. 14 more to go, guys.
Let's go. Let's buy some shirts. We got some more shit coming.
We got some really good shit coming too.
I think I'm gonna get a tank top. I'm gonna get the Shooting Shit tank top for this summer, so I can rock that to the pool and stuff.
Oh, look at that!
I even found me a new Cubs hat to go with it to match the color scheme.
So just so that the record is set straight, that was not a Charlotte Hornets baseball hat, right?
No, dude, it's a fucking Chicago blue Cubs hat. All those hats up there are Cubs hats or Bulls hats, man. I don't wear anything but Chicago shit.
I know. I just had to give you shit about that.
Jeez,
I thought that was funny.
Charlotte.
Especially your reaction when you called him a stupid bitch.
I know, dude. That just came out. I felt bad after I said it. But, you know, it just like it was the week before we were in Wisconsin. And I was wearing this hat. This one right here. And we're walking through the store and he goes, "So you guys from Cincinnati?" No. Oh, well, you're wearing a Reds hat. No.
Wrong C, bud. Wrong font.
Yeah. It's not even the same. It ain't even close. Ain't even close to the same C.
The problem is it's red. That's the problem.
I can't help that, man. I got red one. I got a blue one. I got a gray one. I got a black and red one.
Hey, didn't I send you guys? I sent you guys in the chat the hat I'm wearing when I come to Chicago, didn't I?
No.
Oh, I did a while ago.
I saw it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Take a quick second to go peek at that gem.
How long ago was this?
I'm pulling it up right now. When did you send it, Joey K?
Like earlier this week or late last week, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, must have been.
when I first found it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sending this to you fuckers."
Let me see here.
Does it got bacon on it?
No, it doesn't.
No bacon.
No.
No bacon.
It's basically a hat. Do you want me just to read what it says?
Wait, I found it.
Oh no, I want Sean to see it first.
Okay.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah.
That kind of falls into my Chicago versus everyone t-shirts and shit like that, dude. Yeah.
So I wanted, I know, right? So I wanted to get this. I had originally planned to get this for the show, and I wasn't even going to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Until we went to the show and did whatever we were going to do at said show. I was just gonna pull it out of my bag at one point and put it on and just say, "Fuck it, let's go."
That's awesome.
And just wait for you guys to fucking die.
Yeah.
But I figured since unfortunately the show's postponed, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna send it to you guys now. Like, yeah, this is my new hat. And for everybody listening, my new hat just says it's the old school Phillies maroon with white letter stitching on the front that just says Philadelphia hates you too.
That's awesome.
All right, so our last topic of the night, because we're getting there up close to an hour here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you all three of my picks real quick. So you rock and roll. You say what you want to say. I'm ready to go.
All right, so the draft starts. When this drops, the draft will start later tonight on SmackDown and continue on Monday night. They have a certain pool of wrestlers that'll be drafted on SmackDown, and the rest get drafted on Raw. But gentlemen, if you were drafting for both Raw and SmackDown, who would your top three picks be for each brand? Okay, do you want to wait till you want to go last? You want to go first? You want to?
No, I'll throw my first one out real easy. Roman Reigns is going to Raw.
That's a
they can't keep him on SmackDown, and I know there's an internal fight between
USA and
NBC Universal and Fox and this whole thing.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, he is the hottest fucking heel in the company. He has been for a very long time. And there's no way they can't share that storyline for the bloodline without pissing off NBC Universal. So they're going to have to compromise. They're going to have to send Roman over to Raw. I think that's where he goes. The flagship show or what they call it, even though SmackDown has better ratings. Yeah, that's your number one pick. You have to go with the champ right now. Put him on a new show, gives a fresh look, and you're gonna have some new storylines for him in the bloodline at that point.
Well, I would I'm intrigued like how they determine like who's gonna pick first and everything and stuff, because I think we're all in agreement. Roman, regardless of which show goes first, Roman's probably gonna be the first pick and stuff. And I'm under the assumption that I think SmackDown's gonna get first pick, and that's why I actually have Roman going to SmackDown. Because technically he was a SmackDown superstar. So I think he stays on SmackDown and stuff just because, I mean, it's where he's been. Everything's established there. I think he stays there. So
I know. I agree with Joey K. I think first pick to Raw is going to be Roman Reigns, man. And if Roman's going, I'm going to amend that. I don't know necessarily that it's going to be just Roman Reigns, but I definitely think the bloodline.
Well, I think according to the draft pool, Roman and Solo are technically can be drafted together. I think is what I saw on tomorrow, and then I think the Usos are part of the draft, the pool of eligible superstars that'll be drafted on Raw. But yeah. So you guys we all have Roman going number one. I have him going to SmackDown at 1. You guys have him going to Raw 1. So who would your first pick be for SmackDown then with Roman off the board?
I'll just go on this round 2. Seth Rollins is going to SmackDown. And I think based off of my first pick, with Roman taking the title to Raw, we're going to have the new World Heavyweight title on SmackDown. SmackDown is now going to be the fucking premier show like it used to be years ago, where, yeah, Raw's the flagship, but when SmackDown had fucking Eddie and Edge, and it was just a cool show. The best workers, the best stuff happening. I mean,
been a better show than Raw consistently lately. Anyway.
Yeah, it's already been that way, but now they're going to boost it up with a couple more names, and you're going to have a real fucking, Seth Rollins, and I'll reserve saying anybody else until my next pick. But I think Seth to SmackDown sets the tone of, oh shit, SmackDown's going to be the show to watch if you really want to watch some good fucking wrestling. I mean, it's already there right now compared to Raw, but like it's going to send it over to the top.
What about you, Silverwolf?
I actually think Bianca Belair.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so Bianca Belair,
which means that Rhea Ripley would be my second pick to be drafted to Raw. She'd be the new Raw Women's Champion, and her and Bianca.
So you'd have Bianca going to SmackDown and Rhea going to Raw. Okay. Yeah. So for me, I'm going to go with Rollins as well as my number one pick, and I think he's going to be the guy that's going to be the lead, the official face of the Raw brand. And again, he's the guy that I have picked. I would pick as the first World Heavyweight Champion, and stuff. So we'll go into our second round picks. That
was our second round pick.
That wasn't mine. I haven't given mine yet.
We all agreed on Roman as first.
Yes, but then Rollins going to Raw and then with their first pick.
Oh, we're doing each show?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Y'all, I'm mailing this in, man. I don't even give a shit. Y'all can discuss. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm tired. This is going to go for another hour.
Well, we'll wrap this up pretty quickly.
I'm saying your first three picks overall. Raw, SmackDown, Raw, whatever.
I thought I had explained in the chat. I apologize if I didn't.
Yeah, I ain't got that kind of preparation. What do you fight?
I guess I put time on my hands sometimes.
You do. Yeah, put a little baby oil in your hands, bud. Lube it up. You'll be fine.
Well, you're the one.
There it is. There's the face.
You're the one that was talking about fucking yourself, or fucking that guy that does the voice of our Stern Shit Question of the Week thing. So you're the one that's probably save up.
It sounds so much more aggressive when you say it, bud.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not gonna. I'm done.
It did sound a little more aggressive when you said it.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit more like fucking an episode of Oz from HBO when you say it. When I say it, it's cheeky and funny, but when you say it, like a
prison rape scene.
Yeah, that's kind of the difference there, man.
No, actually,
Anyway, how about Seth Rollins, huh?
Seth Rollins.
So for my second round SmackDown pick, I have the guy that should still be the guy that unseats Roman as a champion. I got Cody Rhodes following Roman to SmackDown because he's got to be the one, regardless of where these guys go. He's got to be the one that still takes the title off Roman.
Yeah, I mean, here's my problem with the draft, man. I know that this is supposed to be like fun for the fans and all that other stuff, but I just don't ever get the feeling that it's ever, we moving these guys around, giving them different spots to work in. That's one thing, but I just don't get as excited about it because it really doesn't mean anything. They jump back and forth so much now and show up on each other's shows all the time anyway. So, I mean, to me, it's not a big a deal. Like, I think the biggest part of it is the new belt. I mean, the new title that they're, the consolation championship is basically what it is. So, I mean, and even the way that he came out and said, like, well, Roman has this, so we came up with another. I mean, it's basically a consolation prize. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's what he was shooting for in the delivery, but that's just kind of how it came off, man. So, I like seeing these guys jump from show to show, but to be completely honest with you, like the Judgment Day has been on SmackDown just as much as it's been on Raw. So is the Bloodline. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with it? What I would more focused on is just seeing like a better Monday Night Raw show. I tuned in Monday just to see what the big announcement was. And then, I think at one point I just like flipped it and started watching The Office, and Gabby's like, "You're not watching Raw?" I was like, "Yeah, there wasn't nothing there. It just It's not always." Whereas I'm more open to AEW even when the storylines suck because the matches are always so good. I don't care about Otis and this model thing. Like I'm tired of the dumb goofy, gimmicky storylines, man. I mean, just you have so much talent there that can work. I feel like they spend more time on interviews and promo time and all this other stuff. And I mean, it's 3 hours. You should be able to have 10 to 12 matches in a 3-hour show. And we get what, 6 or 7, maybe
And a lot
8?
of them are only a couple minutes long too.
And most of the time it's because we're jumping from here to there for, backstage interviews or Austin Theory and his, A-Town Down, whatever the fuck that means. Like, I don't get it. Like, I still like the pacing of the show, all of it. It's just not, I'm just not enjoying it as much as I should. And I mean, for as much as it's on TV, you got 3 hours of Raw on Monday, NXT. The NXT's been doing better programming, I think. And I've been watching some NXT stuff, and I've been really hard on them because I still feel like it's a big gimmicky 80s kayfabe. Everybody has a job character show, but they're doing a lot more in the 2-hour set that they have than any other show that they have. And SmackDown's always been the better show, in my opinion. That's why I'd rather watch Friday nights. But Friday nights, I'm usually doing something. I'm usually out with my wife or, something's going on. So even then, so like Monday nights should be the night that, the one night where I can go, all right, I can sit down and watch. It's just 3 hours. I mean, I kind of wish they'd just go back to 2 hours and be done with it.
I think we all wish they would go to 2 hours.
Because it's just not good. Like they're trying so hard to fill 3 hours and they're just not doing it the right way. You know what I mean? Like
they haven't done it the right way in a decade at least. Jeez.
And there's the level of talent that's being misused or not used at all on both the major shows, AEW and WWE. I mean, I'm going to throw this out. I know this is a little off topic of what we were talking about, but they brought Baron Corbin up from NXT, dude. He was the lone wolf. He was a killer in NXT. I loved that guy's character. Loved him. And I thought he was a really great worker for a big guy. He's very athletic. You bought him as a heel. You believed what he said. That guy's been through so many different iterations that they don't know who he even is now. And now he's not even on TV.
He's the shits.
And it's not that there's no talent there. It's just they don't just leave him alone and let him find his own way, man. Just put him in there, let him wrestle. That's what they used to do. Is they just start throwing guys on TV and let them work. Build your own. LA Knight is getting nothing from the company and is legitimately building himself up. Like he's in a way kind of like the way Steve did when they go, all right, you don't want to be the ringmaster, figure it out. And I think that's what LA Knight's doing. And I mean, it's going to take him months of doing what he's doing to get any kind of recognition. And then like Finn Balor, AJ Styles, all these guys that are kind of not getting used. You know what I mean? Even Damian.
Well, AJ's still out hurt, so that's why he hasn't been.
Well, no, I know that, but even then, man, I mean, every time they bring back the Good Fellas,
the Good Brothers,
the Good Brothers or whatever, he's in the, the Gun Club or whatever they're calling it. Their iteration of the Bullet Club.
Oh, the OC.
The OC. So, I mean, every time they bring those guys back, they just throw those three together and say, all right, go work. And AJ Styles is way too talented of a wrestler to be not be used. I mean, he's every bit as good as Seth Rollins, if not better. But because Seth is a homegrown guy, they're going to use him more. And nothing against Seth, but just you never like when there's not been a time in the last 5 or 6 years where Seth Rollins wasn't involved.
Yeah. So
I mean, he's been on the show. So
all right, so we'll kind of start wrapping this up. I'm just going to rapid fire the rest of my picks here. So I had Roman going first pick to SmackDown. I had Rollins going first to being Raw's first pick. I had Cody being the number 2 pick for SmackDown. My second pick for Raw is the guy who I would love to see unseat Seth Rollins as the World Heavyweight Champion, and that is the current Intercontinental Champion, Gunther. Third pick going to Raw, since we're getting Gunther to Raw. I'll put Austin Theory on SmackDown because I think it's a chance for him to work with some new talent and stuff. And then my last pick for just the top 3, the third pick for Raw, I'm actually going to go a little bit of a shocker, and this is something I think I talked about before, but I could see someone from NXT going early in this draft. It's kind of like a shock value moment. I think I would, with my third pick for Raw, I'd bring Braun Breaker up from NXT to Monday Night Raw.
He's not going to be on Monday Night Raw. He's going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They already posted something on Facebook today. Him and Cora Jade will be at SmackDown Friday night.
But they could be drafted to Raw too. I think they just have people being there and stuff.
They're going to be on SmackDown, bro. He's not going.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean I don't think he's ready. I know I know how much you love that guy. He's not ready. He's just not. I mean, and that's just my opinion.
You're entitled.
Yeah, I mean, in NXT, he's a big guy with a bunch of little boys. I mean, those guys in NXT are undersized, most of them. He's going to get up to the main roster, and he's going to be that cocky Steiner guy that he is, because that's who those guys are. They're just cocky. They're just strong, tough, cocky fuckers. And he's going to get up to the main roster, and somebody's going to knock his dick in the dirt, and he's going to understand that maybe I ain't as good as I thought I was. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be there or he won't be there. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's ready yet. And I think that's a lot of the problem with some of these NXT guys is they're killing it down there. They're throwing belts on him because his name recognition. Can he work? Yeah. But working in that little studio at Full Sail Arena and being thrown on the national stage in a Raw, that's two different worlds, brother. And I just don't think he's ready yet. And I hope I'm wrong, because I like the way he works. He reminds me a lot of his dad in the style that he wrestles. I mean, I love Rick Steiner as far as like his wrestling in-ring ability. I always thought he was the better wrestler of the two Steiner brothers. I love the Steiner line. Whenever he threw that Steiner line on people, man, I loved it. I love Rick to death as far as like his ability. I'm not a real big fan of his personal beliefs on some other things, and I'm not going to get into that because that's not what we're talking about. But like I kind of wish they would do away with the Braun Breaker shit and just let him be a Steiner and let him work with his dad's name. And I mean, it's his name too. Let him go, man. But that's not going to happen. You know, they're not going to do that, especially not now and not for a while. But I hope I'm DDG. I legit hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope he gets up there and he can swim, man. I really, really do, because I like the kid. But I feel like he's going to get up there and he's just going to they're going to put him in the ring with Gunther or Damian Priest or one of these guys that are like legit hardcore that can work. And he's not going to know what to do when they don't sell that clothesline.
All right,
because not everybody's just going to give it to you.
Rapid fire, Sean. What would the rest of your top 3 picks for each brand look like?
I honestly didn't give it much thought. I'd like to see the entire Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. I'd like to see all them guys on SmackDown. I'd like to see all the Bloodline on Raw.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley moving over to SmackDown. I mean, she's going to be there anyway if she goes with those guys. I think that they could do some real damage. And I think just the writing on SmackDown would be better for their faction. And the only other thing is I'd like to see Big E come back and work. If I'm going to draft and he's coming back off injury, I think it would be a nice big surprise for somebody to draft him to Raw.
That would be.
He's not coming solo though. They've already said he's getting drafted with the New Day.
Yeah.
So wherever the New Day ends, Big E will be there. Which is cool.
Yeah. And I'm ready for that too, man. I miss Big E. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's just fucking awesome. I love him to death too.
Well, dude, I just love the fact that he's like, I'm not gonna. They put a strap on him. They're all trying to get him to change his character. Or he needs to be meaner. Or he needs to be this or that. He don't need to do that, man. Let him be him. That's how he's got over. And he's funny. He's entertaining. He's a badass. He's strong. He can work. You know, let him work, dude. That's the problem with WWE is they're always trying to curtail. You got too many old heads still in that in spots of authority there that they're still stuck in that whole, if you're going to be a heel, you got to be this, and we know that's just not the case anymore.
So,
yeah.
All right, Joey K, rapid fire your rest of your picks so we can move on to final thoughts and call it a night.
Honestly, I think Gunther goes to Raw. We get Theory on SmackDown because of it. Not like I give two flying fucks about Theory. I'm here for Gunther. I think so this is the thing. I'm looking at this list here, and a lot of people are together. It's not individuals. And they've said that teams and groups will be going together.
If they want, they'll probably break some of those up.
And that's where my big dark horse pick, one of the top picks, I would say a top 5 pick, Montez Ford's going somewhere solo.
I agree with you. I completely agree.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
I think it's going to be like a shocker type pick, but
yeah,
all the fans are going to go, oh, we get this. We're finally going to see Montez do his thing. And, Dawkins, I love Dawkins too, but it's just time for Montez to shine. If they're going to split them up without having them feud with each other, which is super fucking typical, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, I keep Montez on Raw with wherever Bianca is, leave him there because I want to see that Jay-Z Beyonce deal.
Right. And I do too. I think Dawkins might go to Raw, and we're going to get Bianca and Montez on SmackDown. I'm telling you, SmackDown's going to be the big winner of everything here. I think they're going to get the best workers, the best talent. In my opinion, the guys who are going to go out there and have the matches. But that's my huge pick. I think Montez is going to go a lot higher than people expect him to or would think that he would. And I think Shinsuke goes to Raw.
He's going to be a 1 or a 2, man. He's going to be a 1 or a 2 pick. Like, he probably won't be a 1. I mean, once Roman's off the board, then it's
that's probably the only guarantee is that Roman goes number 1.
Exactly. But I think Shinsuke goes to Raw too.
Okay.
Just because I was thinking about this. I know he's doing this, I guess his next feud now is with Karrion Kross. Cool, whatever. That's fine. But I think they want enough of a shakeup. So you're even going to see guys like, they brought Shinsuke back. They gave him a big package to come back, like the whole video montage shit and, new entrance, new ring gear, all that stuff. I think that's going to play to Raw really well because he's been on SmackDown pretty much exclusively his entire main roster run. Right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Exactly. So I think it's a good way to, finally get him to Raw. They just brought him back. They seem like they're going to give him a bit of a push. So that's another one. I think Cody ends up in SmackDown as well. Because the thing with Roman, that's nothing that's going to happen anytime soon. If that happens, we're going to see that live next year at 40. But keep him on SmackDown for now. And however the cards play out, Cody will be main eventing WrestleMania next year for a title and probably going to win it while we're there. But yeah, Cody on SmackDown. I think SmackDown's going to be that worker show. We're going to get that. Dude, we might even get Edge back on SmackDown again.
I'd love to see Edge finish up his career on SmackDown. That's the show.
He's one of those guys that helped build that show to being like, wow, SmackDown's the show to watch.
Yeah, Eddie, Kurt, Edge.
Right,
that was great. That was a fun time, man.
All right, guys. We're getting up out here at hour 20. Let's go into final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Dude, I'll go quick. I ain't got much going on. So,
well, that was Sean's final thoughts.
Wow.
I honestly, and I know I kind of spoke on this for a few minutes earlier. I honestly believe they're going to throw that belt on Roman Reigns. Like, I really think the entire wrestling world's about to shit bricks because I really do believe that somehow Roman Reigns is going to end up with 3 belts walking around carrying it. And I think it's going to be the biggest FU that Paul Levesque ever played on the wrestling world. And I think we're all going to hate it and love it all at the same time. I just don't I just after Mania and the level of heat that he generated by not putting Cody over and just the buzz that it created. And then the way he just came out and kind of made that announcement and how he just kind of just with the way he was talking about Roman and giving us a champion that we can be proud of and all this other stuff, man. There was a little smirk. there's just something going on there. I don't know what it is. I could be completely wrong, but like everybody's going to be really, really pissed when Roman's walking around with 3 belts. So,
all right,
get ready for it. I think it's going to happen.
Right on.
Joey K, your final thought?
Motherfucking Sixers got some time off. Let's go, baby. The only first round sweep we had, fucking Sixers took it to the Nets, which is just, fuck Ben Simmons. So there's that.
Did he even play this year?
They let him do a couple things, and he's mostly been sitting on the bench, though. So that's nice. But if anybody didn't remember a nice Ben Simmons tweet from 2020, while he was on the bench going, getting swept hurts. I can't wait to get out there and help my team so I never have to experience this again. And it's only beautiful that after all the fucking bullshit that he pulled in Philly, that Philly's the team to sweep his ass right out of the playoffs while he was sitting on the bench shut down because of his back, his whatever, who the fuck knows what his problems are at this point. So that is just fucking just cosmic fucking relief right there. All the karma in the world. But I'm excited. We just got the Celtics winning tonight. So we got Boston, Philly once again in the playoffs, ready to fucking go. Starting Monday night. Can't wait for that shit. Aside from that final thought, how about this fucking draft? It looks like Chicago and Philly made out in the first round. Dallas, not so much. So Jovan's probably down there crying some tears in his fucking Whataburger right now, and that's cool. I'm all for it. He's gonna hear this and be so pissed. But yeah, man, fucking solid night for our teams. Let's go. Looks like the NFC kind of racked up, at least part of the NFC here did. So I'm thrilled about that. And last but certainly fucking not least, is anybody else excited about Roderick Strong coming back and stay with the save for fucking nothing?
I'm happy that he's actually going to be able to do something instead of just sitting collecting a paycheck. Like I'm excited to see him on my screen.
If I'm Roderick Strong, I'm scared to death. Because every one of those Undisputed Era guys that have jumped ship to AEW are fucking either injured or no longer employed by AEW. If I'm Roderick Strong, I go as far away from AEW as possible.
I mean,
he'll be dragging his leg or on crutches in 3 months.
Well, that's more of a testament to how AEW operates. You have fucking Adam Cole with a massive concussion. You have Kyle with, what did he do this time? Shoulder? Was it shoulder?
Neck.
It was his neck? Okay.
He had neck fusion surgery.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. If we can get, if he comes back healthy and can go again, fantastic, great. I'm excited. Like, let's get Cole, fucking Roddy, and O'Reilly out there. But now it's just disappointing because fucking Fish is over an Impact. So
yeah, I did. Roderick Strong of all those guys, he was the one. I mean, even when in the Undisputed Era, he was not like he didn't move the needle for me, man. Diamond Mine, Undisputed Era, none of that shit. Kyle was always better. I always liked Bobby Fish's style better, and Adam Cole is, he was like Ringo.
Man, I don't know. I gotta disagree on that, man. I like Roddy.
The fourth Beatle, dude. He's just in the back playing the drums. Nobody gives a shit.
See, I'm gonna give you a spin here.
Popular because he was in. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna give you a spin that's gonna change your opinion on this.
I doubt it, but you can try.
You're not gonna tell me the closest thing we have in pro wrestling today when he's given a good story, when he's like a feature. You're not going to tell me Roderick Strong's not the closest thing we have current day to Dean Malenko?
can't argue
Think,
against that.
think about it.
So-
Think about it.
No. I'm going to agree with you on that in the sense that Dean Malenko was a great worker. But Dean Malenko never got any higher than upper mid card. He isn't considered one of the greats of all time. He didn't carry a lot of straps. So yeah, in a way, he is a lot like Dean in the sense of he's kind of natty ice, man. I mean, he's all that great stuff, but less filling. He's just not. He can work. I'm not dogging his skills, man.
No, that's cool.
There's just not. I mean, he doesn't have a great promo. He's not what I would consider charismatic. You know, he's the guy that helps Adam win matches. He's not the guy who wins matches. You know, I mean, so him with Adam Cole. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when he ran out last night, I was like, holy shit, that's Roderick Strong. That's cool that he's there. But then again, you know, after about, 2 or 3 minutes of watching him, you know, kind of drop everybody and then everybody kind of going, who is this? Oh, wait, that's Roderick Strong. Now we get it. Like, it didn't really move the needle for me. I mean, I think it's cool that he's going to be there and he's going to work with Adam Cole and it'll definitely up his game. And he, you know, as of right now, though, no. I agree with you. The Dean Malenko is that's a very accurate comparison. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
at least even Dean, man, he moved the needle more for me.
I'm more along the lines. Yeah, and I get that. And I'm more along the lines of like I can enjoy Dean Malenko in the vein of I don't have to wait for him to be entertaining for a promo or some fucking vignette or some backstage bullshit like we were just talking about on Raw. If I want to watch real good fucking technical wrestling, like Roderick Strong fits that fucking bill. I
think Roderick Strong would be probably an open weight or a champion in Ring of Honor.
For sure.
I think Ring of Honor would be the perfect place for Roderick Strong because Ring of Honor focuses more on the in-ring and less on...
And he can find his way there, too.
Yeah, and I think he would do really great overseas. I think he'd be great in New Japan or IWGP or any one of those Japanese promotions. When it comes to, you know, national TV in the States, he's always going to be one of the backup dancers. He's never going to be the leading guy.
All right.
But in Ring of Honor, I mean, if they say, hey, Roderick Strong is going to be working more Ring of Honor, I think that's great because I think that guy could go in there and work his ass off and probably start collecting belts and probably have a much better and more fulfilling career than he's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my final thought. DJ, take us home.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make mine quick because I'm getting tired, much like I think the rest of us here. It's getting late and stuff. But for me, it's about Ring of Honor. It's like, I know a lot of people were upset when Tony Khan announced that Ring of Honor TV was going to be on the Honor Club, you know, and you'd have to pay $9.99 a month to watch it legally. I'm sure there's probably some illegal streams out there or whatever that you can find and stuff. But guys, if you don't, you know, if you need to find a way to watch Ring of Honor TV, because since they've launched on the Honor Club, every episode has been really good. The episode that was out last week had a banger of a match between El Hijo del Vikingo, who's been getting a lot of airtime here in the States lately, and rightfully so, because he is phenomenal, going up against a guy that Sean and I know pretty well on the Chicagoland independent scene, and that's Gringo Loco. And stuff, and they had a banger of a match. And after the match, they went backstage, and Gringo Loco cut a promo. And I guess he talked about how after the match, Tony Khan came out and raised his hand. So do not be surprised if you see sometime in the next near future that Gringo Loco is all elite / Ring of Honor bound, because I mean he showed the world what he was all about on this, and you guys should go out of your way to not only watch that match, but watch the new Ring of Honor TV program, because he was putting out some consistently good stuff week after week.
I actually watched that match, and it was good. And because, you know, we know Gringo, we watched him MLW live at Cicero Stadium. We watched him in AAW at Bourbon Street.
He was at the show we went to.
Yeah, he was he was in LaSalle that night. We went there too. And I think the great thing, the difference between then and now is like he actually looks like he's in shape. So Gringo Loco has this tendency to get a little chubby, a little heavy around the midsection. So them high flying moves aren't as crisp sometimes. But so when I watched it, and I actually was I think I've seen it on Facebook, everybody was praising the match, and I know what he's capable of. So when I watched it, I was very impressed. Like he came in and, he's in shape. He's ready to work. Very talented guy. Really nice guy too. I mean, just a really down to earth, nice guy. One of your typical indie guys. Is just grateful to be there, man. So yeah, it was a really good match.
Well, alrighty then. Well, we are coming up on an hour and a half, so I think it'd be a great time to call the night. I can't do all the stuff Jovan talks about, the ladies in the back, the
I got that. That's easy.
Okay, go ahead.
Do it.
For all the boys back there in catering, for all the ladies taking care of us in accounting, to all you marks out there who are really hoping Cody Rhodes still beats Roman Reigns for a title.
I just want to fly.
For all you disgusting fucks that still haven't found deodorant at your local wrestling show, it's the boys that shooting shit saying, hey, watch some pro wrestling, wash your ass, have a great fucking week, and we'll see you when we see you.
God, I miss Jovan right now so bad.
Be sure to check us out on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@SHOOTINGSHT. Find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/groups/SHOOTINSHT. Check us out on TikTok at SHOOTINSHIT. And you can buy your official Shootin' Shit shirt at www.prowrestlingtees.com/SHOOTINSHT. And thanks for watching.